Ladies and gentlemen, there is a spark inside you, an untapped reservoir of potential waiting to be awakened. You were born with extraordinary capabilities, and the path to unstoppable success begins when you decide to unleash them. The greatest journey you will ever take is not across countries or continents. It's the journey from where you are to where you can be. Success is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. Every person who has achieved greatness started with a decision to stop living below their potential and start striving toward excellence. You too can make that decision today. The key to unlocking your potential lies in clarity. Clarity of who you are, what you want, and where you're going. When you define a clear goal and commit to it, your mind becomes a magnet for solutions, ideas, and opportunities. You begin to attract the resources necessary to succeed. But clarity is just the beginning. You must back it with relentless discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Successful people aren't necessarily more talented. They're more consistent. Next, embrace the habit of continuous learning. The more you learn, the more you earn. Never let a day go by without improving your knowledge, your mindset, or your skills. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Develop it daily. Don't fear failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You either win or you learn. The only real failure is not trying. Take 100% responsibility for your life. No more blaming. No more excuses. Own your time, your thoughts, and your action. When you take full control, you take full power. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Your environment shapes your destiny. Elevate your circle. Learn from those who are further along the path. And above all, never quit. The world makes way for those who know where they're going and are determined to get there. Success is not reserved for the lucky. It's earned by the committed. You are capable of more than you know. You have greatness within you. And when you unlock your potential, you unlock a future with no limits. Go out there and don't just chase success, become it. The first and most powerful step on your journey to unstoppable success is making a decision, a clear, firm decision to unlock your potential. Nothing happens until a decision is made. People go through life waiting for a sign, a perfect moment, or someone to come along and give them permission to succeed. But success doesn't come from waiting. It comes the moment you say to yourself, enough is enough. I'm ready to rise. That one decision has the power to redirect your entire life. Deciding to unlock your potential means you stop living on autopilot. It means you no longer accept mediocrity as your standard. Too many people live far below their capabilities, not because they lack ability, but because they've never made a real commitment to excellence. When you finally decide to demand more from yourself, your thoughts, your habits, and your environment begin to shift. Life starts to respond differently to you because you begin to show up differently. A decision is more than a fleeting thought. It is a firm internal command. It's when you draw a line in the sand and say, this is where it changes. It's easy to wish hope or talk about what you want. But when you truly decide, your energy changes, your language changes, your standards rise. That's when you separate yourself from the masses. Because most people dabble, they try, they experiment, but they don't decide. The difference between high achievers and average performers isn't always talent. It's the strength of their decisions. High achievers decide they will not live beneath their potential. They decide they will persist, no matter the obstacle. They decide that excuses are a thing of the past. And because of that level of decision, they activate parts of themselves they never knew existed. You have that same ability, but you must decide. When you make the decision to unlock your potential, you accept the truth that your life is your responsibility. You take ownership of your growth, your progress, and your results. You stop blaming the economy. your upbringing, or your current circumstances. Instead, you say, I am the architect of my future. This is when true power begins to emerge. Because from that point forward, you no longer depend on chance. You operate by choice. That decision also requires courage, because unlocking your potential will disrupt your comfort. It will challenge the version of you that's gotten used to playing small. It may mean saying no to distractions, letting go of old habits, or distancing yourself from people who hold you back. But growth and comfort cannot coexist. When you decide to evolve, you also accept that discomfort is part of the process. And that's okay because it's temporary. The rewards, on the other hand, are permanent. Once the decision is made, momentum follows. You start taking actions that align with your new identity. You stop hesitating and start executing. Clarity increases, confidence grows, and slowly, day by day, you begin to unlock levels of focus, creativity, and drive you didn't realize you had. This is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming who you've always been, underneath the fear and the doubt. So understand this. The decision to unlock your potential is not a one-time moment. It's a daily commitment. It's waking up every morning and choosing growth over comfort, purpose over distraction, and action over procrastination. And each time you make that choice, you move closer to the life you were meant to live, not by accident, but by deliberate design. Clarity is the starting point of all success. Without clarity, you drift. You wake up every day reacting to life instead of designing it. But when you gain total clarity about who you are, what you want, and where you're going, you become focused, intentional, and powerful. Think of clarity like a GPS. Without a destination, the system can't guide you. But once you input your target, everything begins to align to help you reach it. When your goals are vague, your results are random. Most people say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to make more money, but they never define what that actually means. Vague goals lead to vague efforts, and vague efforts produce vague results. You need to be precise. How much money do you want? What kind of success are you after? What does your ideal life look like in detail? Clarity eliminates confusion and replaces it with direction. Clear goals create energy. The moment you decide exactly what you want, your mind goes to work like a magnet, pulling in people, ideas, and resources that align with that outcome. This isn't magic, it's focus. Your subconscious mind begins filtering out distractions and spotting opportunities that were invisible before. That's the power of total clarity. It activates your internal guidance system and puts all of your faculties on the same page. Clarity also creates confidence. When you're clear about your purpose and direction, you move with certainty. Doubt disappears. Second-guessing fades. You stop asking for permission and start taking bold, decisive steps. This is where momentum is born. People who are unclear often hesitate and overthink. People with clarity act fast and adjust as they go. The faster you act on a clear goal, the sooner you get results, and results fuel belief. Getting clear also requires getting honest. You have to stop lying to yourself about what you want. Many people set goals based on what others expect of them, or what feels realistic. But clarity is not about settling. It's about truth. What do you truly want? Not what's convenient. What would you pursue if you weren't afraid? That's your true direction. Clarity begins the moment you get real with yourself. Once you're clear on what you want, you must break it down. Big dreams are essential, but they must be broken into small, measurable, actionable steps. If your vision is the mountain, your daily goals are the steps that get you there. Clarity isn't just about the end destination. It's also about the process. When you know what to do today, success stops being overwhelming and starts being achievable. Clarity demands consistency. It's not something you figure out once and forget. You must revisit your vision often. Write your goals, visualize your ideal future, review your progress weekly. When clarity becomes a habit, you operate with laser focus. Your energy isn't scattered across 10 directions. It's concentrated, and that intensity is what separates high performers from the average. Lastly, understand that clarity simplifies decision-making. When you're crystal clear on your goals, saying no becomes easier. You stop chasing every opportunity and start choosing only what aligns with your purpose. You don't waste time on distractions, because you know what matters. This ability to focus is one of the greatest predictors of long-term success, and it all begins the moment you decide to stop guessing and start getting clear. Discipline is the master key that unlocks the door between vision and achievement. It is the ability to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Without discipline, dreams remain distant, goals remain ideas, talent remains untapped. But with discipline, you turn intentions into actions, and actions into consistent progress. Discipline is what separates those who wish from those who win. Relentless discipline means showing up every day, especially when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unpopular. It's easy to act when you're motivated. It's when motivation fades that discipline must take over. The truth is, motivation is a spark, but discipline is the firewood. It keeps the flame of your goals burning even when the weather gets rough. If you rely on emotion, you'll be inconsistent, but if you build habits rooted in discipline, you'll become unstoppable. Success is not built in bursts. It's built in the daily grind. The disciplined person gets up early when others sleep in. They do the extra reps, make the extra calls, and stay focused long after others have given up. This isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't need to be the smartest or the most talented, but if you're the most disciplined, you will outperform those who rely solely on skill. Discipline compounds over time. Small, consistent efforts lead to massive transformation. 1 hour of focused reading per day becomes hundreds of hours a year. One disciplined decision each day becomes a new identity in a few months. But most people underestimate the power of repetition. They look for shortcuts. Disciplined individuals understand that the long game is where the real rewards live, and they commit to the process. Relentless discipline is not rigid, it's intentional. It means you're clear on your priorities and align your behavior accordingly. You don't waste energy on distractions, because your schedule reflects your values. Every hour has a purpose. Every task is aligned with a goal. That level of discipline creates clarity, momentum, and peace of mind, because you're in control of your time instead of being controlled by it. Discipline also means mastering the inner battle, the temptation to procrastinate, the urge to quit early, the pull of comfort. These voices show up for everyone, but the disciplined person has trained their mind to choose growth over ease. They don't rely on willpower alone. They create systems and structure to protect their focus. Alarms, routines, deadlines, and accountability. They use these tools to lock in their standards. Being relentless doesn't mean being harsh. It means being committed. You don't need to punish yourself. You need to respect yourself enough to follow through. Discipline is an act of self-respect. Every time you follow through on what you said you would do, your self-confidence rises. You begin to trust yourself. You stop seeking validation because you know you've earned your progress. Over time, discipline becomes part of your identity. It's no longer something you try to do. It's who you are. You wake up with purpose, work with focus, and rest with intent. That's what relentless discipline creates. A foundation so strong that even on your worst days, your standards don't drop. And when your discipline becomes non-negotiable, your success becomes inevitable. Lifelong learning is not a luxury. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to rise above the average and create lasting success. The world is moving faster than ever before. Industries change, technology evolves, and new knowledge is being created daily. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. But when you commit to ongoing growth, you stay sharp, competitive, and relevant. You don't just survive, you thrive. Knowledge is power, but only when it's applied. Every skill you develop, every insight you gain becomes a tool in your success toolbox. The more tools you have, the more problems you can solve, and the more valuable you become. The highest paid people in the world aren't just the most connected or the most experienced. They're the ones who never stop learning. They're constantly upgrading their thinking, refining their skills and staying ahead of the curve. Lifelong learners understand that their brain is their greatest asset. They treat it like a muscle, just as you wouldn't expect your body to grow stronger without exercise. You can't expect your mind to grow without effort. Reading, studying, listening, observing, all these activities stretch your capacity to think critically, solve problems, and make better decisions. And in a world where ideas are currency, mental sharpness becomes your competitive edge. Make learning a daily discipline. Turn your car into a mobile university with audiobooks and podcasts. Dedicate time each day, even just 30 minutes, to reading books that challenge you, teach you, and expand your perspective. Study the lives of successful people. Learn from their failures and model their habits. The more you immerse yourself in knowledge, the more confident and competent you become in your own journey. The most successful people are often the most humble learners. They never assume they've arrived. They're always asking questions, seeking feedback, and exploring new ideas. This humility creates space for growth. It allows them to adapt quickly and pivot when necessary. In contrast, those who believe they already know everything stop evolving, and the world quickly passes them by. Your income is directly tied to your learning curve. The more you grow, the more you can contribute. The more you can contribute, the more value you bring to the marketplace. And the marketplace rewards value. If you want to earn more, start by learning more. Whether it's developing a new technical skill, mastering communication, or improving your leadership, every area you grow in increases your earning potential. Lifelong learning also builds resilience. When challenges arise, the learner is prepared. They have studied, planned, and strengthened their mindset. They don't panic. They analyze, adapt, and take action. Learning makes you resourceful. It gives you the confidence to handle uncertainty, the wisdom to avoid costly mistakes, and the insight to recognize opportunity where others see problems. Above all, learning keeps your spirit alive. It feeds your curiosity and keeps you engaged with life. It reminds you that no matter how much you know, there's always more to discover. Lifelong learners never grow stale. They stay inspired, creative, and passionate. And that mindset, more than any other, is what keeps them moving forward long after others have given. Failure is not the end of the road, it's part of the road. Every person who has achieved anything meaningful has failed, often, and sometimes spectacularly. But the difference between winners and everyone else is simple. Winners do not fear failure. They embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to improve. If you're not failing occasionally, you're playing too small. Growth lives outside your comfort zone, and failure is one of its signposts. Failure is never final unless you quit. It's not a verdict on your ability. It's feedback, pure, powerful feedback. When something doesn't work, it's a message. Try again, but do it differently. Each failure reveals what needs to be adjusted, refined, or abandoned. The people who succeed at the highest level have trained themselves to interpret failure not as rejection, but as instruction. They extract lessons and keep moving forward, better equipped than before. Most people don't fail. They stop too soon. They take one rejection, one mistake, one misstep, and label themselves as incapable. But those who break through understand that the path to mastery is paved with errors, experiments, and setbacks. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. In fact, the faster you fail and learn, the faster you grow. The key is not to avoid failure, it's to fail forward. Your relationship with failure determines your potential. If you see it as shameful, you'll hide from risks and miss opportunities. If you see it as essential, you'll become bold. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you act in spite of the fear, because you value growth more than comfort. Those who embrace failure understand this. The greatest risk is not in trying and failing, but in never trying at all. Failure builds resilience. Every time you fall and get back up, you strengthen your character. You develop grit, patience, and emotional toughness. These traits are more valuable than any certificate or diploma because they can't be taught. They must be earned. And once you have them, you become unstoppable. You no longer crumble under pressure. You rise. You no longer get discouraged. You adapt. Look at the most successful entrepreneurs, leaders, and creators. Their stories are full of setbacks, bankruptcies, rejections, and false starts. But what made them great was not how they avoided failure. It was how they handled it. They used each fall as a step up. They didn't dwell on what went wrong. They focused on what to do next. That mindset is what sets achievers apart. They treat failure like a teacher, not a judge. When you embrace failure as feedback, you also eliminate excuses. You stop blaming circumstances, people, or luck. You own your results and take full responsibility for your outcomes. This shift in mindset is liberating. It puts you in control. You can't change the past, but you can always change your approach. That's where growth happens, not in perfection, but in progress made through lessons learned. Lastly, embracing failure unlocks creativity. When you're not afraid of messing up, you begin to think more freely. You try new things. You take bold action. Innovation comes from experimentation, and experimentation always carries the risk of failure. But it's the price of progress. If you want to lead, if you want to grow, and if you want to achieve beyond the average, you must give yourself permission to fail. Because failure is never the enemy. Stagnation is. Taking full responsibility for your life is the ultimate act of empowerment. When you accept complete ownership of your thoughts, actions, and results, you stop being a victim to circumstances, and you start becoming the creator of your own reality. It's easy to blame others for where you are, your boss, your parents, your environment. But when you choose to take responsibility, you choose to take control. You stop waiting for things to change and start changing things yourself. Responsibility means acknowledging that no one else is coming to save you. Your success or failure is entirely in your hands. But the moment you stop blaming others, you reclaim your power. You no longer wait for permission to act or for conditions to be perfect. You know that success is the result of your own decisions, habits, and actions. If you don't like where you are, you have the ability to change it, but only when you take full responsibility. Taking responsibility means taking ownership of your time. Time is your most valuable resource. It's the one thing you can never get back. How you spend your time directly determines the quality of your life. When you take full responsibility, you stop procrastinating, stop wasting time on distractions, and start using every minute wisely. You prioritize what matters. You act with purpose. Every action, every decision, and every thought is an investment in your future. This responsibility extends to your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you think life is happening to you, you'll always feel powerless. But when you understand that your thoughts influence your actions, and your actions shape your world, you take full responsibility for how you think and feel. You stop blaming the world for how you feel, and instead take charge of your mental state. You consciously choose optimism, focus, and resilience. You create your own emotional environment. Taking responsibility also means owning your mistakes, your failures, and your shortcomings. It's easy to deflect blame or make excuses, but that only delays your growth. When you take responsibility, you acknowledge where you went wrong and learn from it. You don't let failure define you. You let it refine you. Every failure is an opportunity to improve, to grow stronger, and to make better decisions in the future. Responsibility means you're committed to learning from everything, good or bad. In addition, taking full responsibility means not waiting for the right moment to act. People who succeed don't wait for perfect circumstances. They take responsibility for their results and make things happen, regardless of how challenging the situation may seem. They understand that there is no ideal time to start. They start now. They take action with the resources they have, and they keep moving forward, adjusting as needed. Taking responsibility means you don't wait for opportunities. You create them. When you take full responsibility, You stop giving away your power. You stop letting your past define your future. You stop blaming your circumstances or others for your lack of success. You realize that everything in your life is a direct result of your choices. That realization is liberating. It means you have the power to change your circumstances. No matter where you are right now, you are the author of your story, and if you don't like the plot, you can rewrite it. Taking responsibility also means you stop expecting others to solve your problems or fix your issues. You become the solution. You stop waiting for external validation or help, and instead take proactive steps to achieve your goals. You're not looking for shortcuts or quick fixes. You take consistent, deliberate actions that align with your purpose. The most successful people don't rely on luck. They rely on their ability to make things happen. They take full responsibility for their lives, and that's what sets them apart. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your mindset, behaviors, and outcomes. If you want to achieve excellence, you must surround yourself with individuals who challenge you to rise high. People are influenced by the 5 closest individuals in their lives, so choose your circle carefully. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Excellence thrives in the company of those who push you to think bigger, act bolder, and perform at your best. The people you associate with have a profound impact on your attitude and level of ambition. When you surround yourself with people who are committed to their own success, it raises your standards. Excellence is contagious. When you see others consistently making progress, solving problems, and achieving their goals, it forces you to look at yourself and ask, what more can I do? This creates a healthy, competitive environment that fuels growth and pushes everyone involved to reach their potential. Your network should include people who bring diverse perspectives and skill sets. If you only interact with people who think like you, you limit your ability to learn and grow. Surrounding yourself with individuals from different backgrounds, industries, and experiences broadens your understanding of the world. It opens your mind to new ideas, strategies, and possibilities that you may have never considered. By surrounding yourself with a variety of talented people, you expose yourself to fresh thinking, which in turn fosters your own innovation and creativity. At the same time, it's crucial to distance yourself from those who drain your energy or hold you back. Negative people, complainers, and those who lack ambition can erode your motivation and focus. They will pull you down, often without you even realizing it. This doesn't mean you should cut people off, but you need to set clear boundaries. Limit your exposure to individuals who do not align with your goals or values. Surrounding yourself with excellence means you create a space where positive influence and constructive feedback are the norms, not negativity or doubt. One of the greatest assets of a powerful network is accountability. When you surround yourself with people who are excelling, you naturally adopt a higher level of discipline. You no longer have the luxury of slacking off or postponing your goals because you're in an environment where everyone is moving forward. When you're held to a higher standard by the people around you, it becomes easier to push through resistance and stay consistent. Accountability keeps you on track, ensuring that you're always striving for progress rather than settling for complacency. Being around high achievers also exposes you to new opportunities. People who are successful tend to know other successful individuals. They share ideas, resources, and connections that can accelerate your own growth. Networking with high-level individuals opens doors that you may have never considered. Opportunities for collaboration, mentorship, and business ventures often arise from relationships with people who have reached a level of excellence themselves. This kind of environment offers you a chance to broaden your reach and leverage the collective intelligence of your circle. Moreover, the influence of excellence extends beyond the professional sphere. The way you approach life, your health, relationships, and personal growth is shaped by the examples set by the people around you. If you surround yourself with people who prioritize their health, maintain a positive mindset, and work on their personal development, you are more likely to adopt those same habits. Excellence is not just a trait in one area. It's a holistic lifestyle. Surrounding yourself with people who embody this mindset creates a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. Finally, surrounding yourself with excellence challenges you to raise your own standard. The higher the expectations of the people around you, the higher your own expectations become. Mediocrity no longer feels acceptable. Excellence becomes the new baseline. You stop tolerating excuses, shortcuts, or subpar performance, both from yourself and from others. The people you associate with should inspire you to be better, and you should also strive to do the same for them. When excellence becomes a shared value, success becomes a shared journey. Action is the bridge between your goals and your results. Dreaming, planning, and strategizing all hold value, but without action, they are just ideas on paper. Taking massive, consistent action means translating your thoughts into reality. It's the consistent effort day in and day out that transforms ambition into achievement. Without action, your dreams remain in the realm of possibility, but it's through action that those possibilities become real outcomes. The key to massive action is commitment. You have to be all in. It's not enough to take action sporadically, or when it's convenient. Massive action means that you are relentless in your pursuit of your goals, even when obstacles arise, when motivation wanes, or when the road gets tough. It's about pushing forward, staying disciplined, and making progress each day, no matter the circumstance. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who show up every single day and give their best effort, no matter what. Consistency is the glue that holds everything together. Taking action once or twice isn't enough to achieve breakthrough success. It's the habit of doing the right things every day that produces results. Many people are excited about their goals at the start, but they falter when results don't come quickly enough. Massive, consistent action is about creating momentum that will propel you forward, even when things seem slow. The more consistently you act, the more results compound, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. One of the biggest challenges in taking massive action is overcoming inertia. Getting started is often the hardest part, but once you build momentum, the work becomes easier. Think of it like pushing a boulder. At first, the effort required to get it moving is significant, but once it starts rolling, it gains momentum on its own. The same is true for your goal. Once you take that first step, no matter how small, you initiate movement. The more you act, the more your confidence grows, and the more progress you make. Consistency turns action into a force that can't be stopped. Taking massive action also means being willing to make mistakes and fail along the way. Perfection is an illusion. The only way to truly learn and grow is through trial and error. When you act boldly, you put yourself in the position to gain experience, learn from failures, and refine your strategy. Each setback is a lesson, and each mistake brings you closer to the breakthrough. Those who hesitate and wait for the perfect time or perfect plan often find themselves stuck. Taking massive action requires the courage to move forward, despite uncertainty, knowing that failure is simply a stepping stone to success. Moreover, massive action requires a mindset shift. You must train yourself to stop making excuses. It's easy to fall into the trap of saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'm not ready yet." These are distractions that delay progress. Action is not something you do when you feel like it. It's something you do because you've committed to your vision. Every day that you delay your action is a day you lose. The sooner you take massive action, the sooner you will see results. Waiting for perfect conditions is a waste of time, because perfect conditions never arrive. It's the action you take despite imperfections that propels you forward. Effective action also means being smart about where you focus your energy. Not all action is created equal. Taking massive action doesn't mean running around aimlessly. It means focusing on high-impact activities that bring you closer to your goals. Successful people prioritize their time and take action that moves the needle. This is about working smarter, not harder. It's about identifying the key tasks that drive results and dedicating your energy to those, rather than getting bogged down by trivial matters that don't make a meaningful difference. Finally, massive action isn't about working yourself to the bone. It's about working efficiently and intelligently. Success isn't solely defined by how much effort you put in. It's about how effective and focused your efforts are. Consistency, focus, and high leverage are what make your action massive. This means planning your work, organizing your tasks, and taking deliberate steps that lead you toward your goals. The combination of consistent, focused action over time will create breakthroughs you never thought possible. As you stand on the threshold of your potential, remember this: success is not a distant destination. It's a journey that requires daily commitment, relentless action, and unwavering belief in yourself. The path to unstoppable success is not easy. It's paved with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But every step you take, every obstacle you overcome, and every lesson you learn brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. You have within you everything you need to unlock your potential. The only question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Will you take responsibility for your life and your results? Will you embrace failure as feedback and use it to fuel your next move? Will you surround yourself with people who push you to grow and take massive, consistent action toward your goals, even when it feels difficult? The choice is yours, and the time to start is now. You have the power to shape your future, to build the life you desire, and to become the person you were meant to be. The path to unstoppable success is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to do the work, stay focused, and never give up. The journey begins with a single step, but it's the consistent, determined steps that follow that will lead you to greatness. So step forward and embrace the challenges, and keep moving toward the success you deserve. Unlock your potential today, and the world will open up in ways you've never imagined.